Hey guys, thanks for popping in for another video. I appreciate you guys stopping by to watch my videos. It helps me so much, and it is very encouraging. So this video, we are working in the garden and just very busy, and I'm showing you a little bit from each day. So I added some petunias to my arrangement by my side. But you won't believe what I was just doing. I'm so excited, I can't really talk. But anyway, I've been working in the greenhouse while waiting for customers, and you won't believe what I just experienced. I was coming over here to check on the bee trap that this guy put out on, what day was that? Friday. And there are bees. So it's a bee trap, and he's going to put them in a hive for someone or himself, I don't know. But he put a little lemongrass around it so that it smells like a queen bee, and it is just attracting lots of bees, and it's hard for you guys to see them, but there's quite a bit. So this was a false alarm. These bees were just robbing the honey that was left in the hive. We later learned this from the guy who put this hive up for us. Hey guys, so today I'm getting some wire because I've been working on my tomato trellis. And we're also gonna pick the asparagus for Grandma because she didn't get to it today. And then I'll show you what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is putting my tomato trellis up. Even though I haven't even planted my tomatoes, I mean, it's tomato planting time, but I'm gonna try putting the trellis up first. My tomatoes are right there, but I'm going to put the trellis up first to see if I like that. And normally my grandma uses a cattle panel, but this is a hog panel, and I might regret it because it's a little smaller, but I did put it high enough that it'll carry most of the heavy part of the plant. So we'll see if we like it. So it is a very nice day out. It's like perfectly warm and not very breezy, just a little wind. But here is kind of the end where a lot of weeds grow. So we just did cardboard and lots of mulch. Then we started bordering the garden with the cardboard and mulch. And then we have the tomato trellis I just put up. I don't know. I think that'll fit 8 tomato plants at the most. So I might do another one. And then I'm going to plant a marigold on the end. See that little dirt space? A marigold or 2, because those are always supposed to keep bugs away from your plants. And then we have 1 row of sunflowers that are just now coming up. There's one, there's one. And then we have 2 rows of zinnias behind the tomatoes. And then our row of strawberries, which probably need watered because I have not watered them in a while. And I also haven't watered my pear trees in a while, so today's kind of a catch-up day because I haven't been feeling like working in the sun lately. But these are some of the tomatoes I brought out to plant. We have a Better Boy, 2 Better Boys, 2 Early Girls, and 1 Jet Star. Then I have a 4-pack of marigolds. These are super easy to grow from seed. You might be asking why are two bigger and why are two smaller? Well, what I do is when they get those buds, they get like flower buds early on in their growing cycle. And I just pinch those and I keep pinching them until they're at least this size, even bigger. That way they are turned into more of a bushy plant and not just one little puny stalk. So these will go throughout the garden. There's only 4, which is totally fine, but they can get really big. So I'm going to put one on that side of the tomatoes, maybe one in between the tomatoes and the peppers. Like I said, I am going to be gone all summer, and I'm going to be a counselor at camp, so I really need to get this garden in and get it mulched and cardboarded up so that weeds do not grow and take over while I'm gone. Because the tomatoes, I plan to like can a whole bunch when I get back from being a counselor. So that's kind of exciting because I've never really had the time and I won't have school, but I will be looking for a full-time job at that time. But I'm just going to wait till then to find a full-time job unless something comes up, because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do when I get back for a job. Because then back in January, again, I'll start the greenhouse up again and start going all out for next greenhouse season of selling plants. But this is kind of what I'm doing today, and we're about to go pick the asparagus over there. So we have an update on the Juneberry / service berry. They are growing pretty good. Oh, they need water as well. That one is getting like reddish leaves, and that one is doing way better than it was when I planted it. So that is another thing I need to water. The cardboard did blow away. We had some pretty bad windstorms, and I'm thinking after I get done with it, I'll probably have just the right amount to put in that blue tub, because the blue tub also keeps blowing away. So that's the asparagus, but over here real quick, I'm going to pick this rhubarb, because you gotta pick the stalks, otherwise it won't produce rhubarb. It'll just try and produce offspring. So we've got some nice asparagus. Look at all of that asparagus. And then I found this weird one. Just watering my pear trees because it has been a dry spring. Okay, so I just watered all 4 pear trees, my witch hazel bush, the 2 daylilies that are next to the witch hazel bush, and then I watered the 2 service berries and half of the row of strawberries, because the hose only reaches half of the row of strawberries. There's one daylily on the edge of Grandpa's shed. Then there's another one. One's coral, one's red. I'm not sure which is which. Then my witch hazel bush. And then the next area I'm planting is under this tarp. I hope this all died because Grandma mowed it and it's dry and it's on concrete. But hopefully it wasn't because someone sprayed here, because that would hurt my pear trees really bad. So this is my biggest pear tree, and it is looking so good. And it is getting a little wear from the rope, but that one I think must have been a second year tree, because all my other ones are still just now blossoming, and then they're a lot shorter too. But that one has a lot of green on it. This one took a while to get any green, and it's definitely the youngest. And that one's definitely the oldest. As you can see, I did not make these trees center, but I tried. I didn't use any. These two are pretty center. These two aren't. But oh well, who knows, as they grow, they might even out a little bit. But anyway, my tomato, everything's watered. You can see where I watered half the row. Now I'm gonna plant my tomatoes. And I only have a few of them out here right now, but I opened the greenhouse today 3 to 6, and so I'm gonna plant the rest if I'm not busy or when I'm not busy. So I just dug my first tomato hole, and I realized I wanted to try that trick where you put the egg in the hole, and I wanted to try the Tum one. So, you know, you use like an anti-acid or whatever Tums are called, but I don't have either of those things, so I might wait to plant my tomatoes. But it's supposed to rain, so I want to get them in. We'll see. Grandma wants us to lay down cardboard and wood chips on the other side of her tomatoes. The other kids helped her do this side with cardboard and wood chips while I was open yesterday. And then me and Grandma planted the tomatoes after I closed yesterday. And so we are putting the other side, like the walkway, with cardboard and mulch. Anyway, right now I'm putting this lemon balm in the greenhouse. I'm gonna try and sell it, and a few for me, but it's from our house. So I did not plant anything really yesterday. I got one tomato in. That is a Jet Star, and then one marigold, and that's the tomato. Also did a little drawing the other day. So I brought out the rest of the plants I want to plant, and then the other tomatoes are still out here. Then I brought a lot of cans so that these little baby stems don't snap. And then if I have enough time this morning, I'm going to plant my comfrey and lemon balm, because I didn't find the shovel for that last night while they were using the shovel, so I didn't want to take it. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I just planted a lot of the tomatoes, but I forgot to put the eggs in. So now only the first one has an egg. Then that's the last one I planted. I haven't put a white thing around it yet, but I put an egg in that one, that one, that one, that one, and I will in that one. So I just make a note of this all on my phone. I'm doing like west to east. I have a Jet Star, this, and then next to that I'll just put which ones I put eggs in with to see if it helps. Okay, so I'm at the back half of the garden, and on this side we have the cauliflower and broccoli. Then along the wood chip path we have our 40-ish strawberry plants. Then, and by this post we have zinnias, and by this post we have more zinnias. And then we have this whole row of tomatoes, And I don't know if I placed them too close together or too far apart, but I didn't plant all of them. I think I have like 3 more plants I wanted to plant, but we're gonna figure that out later because they're not my favorite ones. Then in this row we have 2 marigolds and 2 peppers next to each other. So we have 2 sets of peppers. Jill told me that you can plant 2 peppers next to each other and they'll support each other instead of you having to put a cage. So I did, these are all banana. So I did 2 next to each other, 2 next to each other. And that is not enough peppers to feed our family, but I figured it's better than nothing because remember, I'm going to be gone all summer, so I don't even know how these are going to do. Then in this row, we have sunflowers. So I didn't think I was going to plant this row, and it looks a little crooked, but I might. Or I might move it a little closer to the sunflowers. I don't know. Because, you know, these are all tomatoes and those are peppers. And they're all bushy things. And then these are the carrot weeds I'm talking about. They're growing everywhere around this lagoon. And they're pretty close to the garden. And they have grown in this garden when it gets taken over. So what I really need to do is cover this section. Because you can see they're trying to come up. And I also need to mulch and cardboard the aisles. And then we have, I'm pretty sure that's a sunflower. So they're coming up. Anyway, I gotta go for today. I'm not gonna water. If things are looking droopy tonight, I probably will. But it's supposed to rain the majority of next week. And it's almost next week. It's Thursday. Okay, so today we are opening the greenhouse from 10 to 4. And yesterday we are not open, but a few people came out and my grandma helped them because she lives here. And so it's a lot more convenient for her to do that than me to drive. And I was at work anyway. So I'm going to calculate up the money I got yesterday to make sure it all works out. Then I'm going to set the cash register up. And then I have to water. Yesterday I didn't water anything, which is unusual. But I wanted everything to dry out because it hadn't been drying out as much. Because the plants are very thick, so their soil isn't exposed to the sun, and so they don't dry out as fast, but they also do drink a lot. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do. I also got a mini fridge for the greenhouse, but I don't know how that's gonna work because when the back vents turn on, back there, the electricity outlets are next to each fan and they turn off when the back vents open. So that will also make this turn off. And I don't know if that will mess with the refrigerator or what. But anyway, that's what I'm gonna do real quick, water and calculate the money. Well, I am pooped out for the day and I did not record much, so I'm sorry about that. But it got 90 degrees outside, which is like very rare for this time of year, and it was just super hot in the greenhouse. Both of the huge fans were running and we had a pretty successful day. First attempt of feeding what I grew to be microgreens to the chickens. I tried to tear it off in a sheet. scared him away. I really do not know how people work outside so much. Woo! I have just been working out here while waiting for customers, which has not been a long time period, but it is so hot. It is like 90 degrees out here, but I'd rather get some work done and be in 90 degrees than in the greenhouse and work, and it's like 95. Whew, maybe 100, I don't know. The fans can barely keep up. So what I'm doing right now is filling buckets of mulch and putting them around what I'm planting. So let me show you what I'm planting. So as you know, along my grandpa's shed, I planted 2 daylilies, a witch hazel bush, and there's some cardboard showing, but I don't want to bury the witch hazel, so I'm not putting more mulch. Then what I just planted is 2 small lemon balm plants. They're an awesome plant. They will grow a lot, so I left quite a bit of room, probably 4 feet in between them and the witch hazel, because the witch hazel will also grow. And this might be more of a ground cover around the bush eventually, I don't know. Then I planted comfrey. This comfrey grows aggressively, so I thought this would be a good place to put it because there's concrete. It can't grow into the rest of the yard. And then I tried, it's so windy. I need to water the lemon balm because I did plant some the other day, a big healthy hunk, and so I only had 1. But this time I planted 2 because they're smaller, and the big hunk died because I didn't water it, and it's like a drought here. So I need to water that so it will survive. And as most of you know, I'm going to camp this summer, so I won't be here to water things, so it's important that I water it good now. The comfrey also needs water. And then I really need to work on mulching that so it can sustain itself while I'm gone. But it's windy and I have a 4-H meeting tonight, so I can't. And now it's blowing away, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you subscribing and liking to my channel. If you have any video ideas for me to make in the future, please leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.